this little jiggle. Alright, so we got a little animation letting us know that behind door number 123 is this guy. Get down, guy. I like your shades, bro. What's on your shirt? Oh my god, is that a beholder? A D&D beholder on his shirt? I'm gonna put that shirt on. I need to know this. Okay, what's up everybody? We're back with Rolando, we're back with Tromponaut, that's me, and we are here. If you are new to the game, we're here to hopefully give you some tips. If you're not new to the game, we are here to just chat about Zomboid, what's going on these days, what was going on in the old days, and what's it all amounting to. Rolando's at home. We did one day outside. We are in a solo multiplayer server that is a local server with only me inside. And we're going to put this jacket back on. And what I've done is we've set up apocalypse settings here. We've changed one thing. We've changed the length of day. So the length of day right now is 30 minutes. 30 minutes to a day. That means we're getting hungry a little faster. We're getting tired a little faster. And obviously it's getting dark outside a little faster. This is just to help us speed us along through to winter without losing our friggin' minds. Okay, this game is long. If you think about it, the default setting is 1 day is 1 hour. If you want to make it through a year, you're putting in 365 hours on a server that doesn't allow sleep. Thankfully, time passes faster when you're sleeping. Oh my gosh, Rolando, this hungry bugger. Still hungry. What are we doing today? We're going to talk a little bit, hopefully, about cars. Cars is something that's still kind of new to me. Again, I put in most of my hours before the advent of the automobile. Back in my day, you had to... Oh, did I not eat that can? Back in my day, if you wanted to go somewhere, you had to walk, and it was grueling, and it sucked, and it took forever. Now you can zip over from, you know, Riverside over to the prison in, I think, less than a game day, which is amazing. Kind of absurd when you think about how we used to play. So we'll hopefully find a working car. We found a beautiful sports car, just excellent condition, ready to go, but no key. And Rolando does not have mechanics, does not have electronics, so he cannot hotwire a car. Rolando is of the unemployed persuasion, the unemployed class. Who's that croaking over here? There you are. So as an unemployed person, we are not a burglar. We instead, there we go. We do not get access to the burglar specialty, which is the ability to hotwire a car without having mechanics or electrical. Be nice, but we don't have it. We're just going to kind of trim the hedges as we go here, do a little landscaping. By hedges, I mean zombies, of course. And this is just to keep our neighborhood secure. Since we don't have a car, we are kind of stuck in this urban area. Alright, you stay down together. There's one over here. Oh, that's nice. Now everybody's down. I'm on top of... Whoa, I was on top of them. That's me getting rusty. Again, I've been off of this game for a few years. So I'm coming back to it. Still getting a feel for Ronaldo's pacing. Sorry, Rolando. Rolando's pacing. Getting a feel for this new animation mechanics. Combat is a lot more... what's the word for it? A lot more detailed maybe than it used to be. The timings, I think, are a lot more precise. I don't know if they're doing actual collision detection with the weapons or what. But it feels good. It feels good. Just gotta make sure I'm doing it right, and I'm still getting a feel for what that means. I said last time I like to fight on the horizontal, left and right. Don't like them getting above or below me, because it interferes with my ability to see the targeting reticle. Gonna swap my boots real quick. Tell you why in a second. Did I need to do it there? No. Was that a little reckless? Yes. Is that out of style for Rolando? Absolutely. I'm going to try to play him as a coward. But here's what this coward just achieved. We just put on those boots. We don't need these bloody sneakers anymore. We have military boots. Look at the bottom left. We have bite defense, scratch defense, 100 and 100. We have a run speed modifier of 0.9, so we're running only 90% of our potential. But if you've ever been bit on the foot, you know that those 100% protection rates are worth it. Now, that said, if you want to be kind of a dine and dasher, you want to just do hit and runs when you're looting, maybe you care about run speed. I don't. Talk a little bit more about Rolando. press H here, go to our info. We are focusing on, boom, the brain, the fast learner. That's this guy. 30% boost on all skills. Which skills? Well, right now, we don't really have much of anything. Okay, so he's a generalist. That's the polite way of saying he's not good at anything. Not good at anything yet, but he will be. You just got to grind him up. Lots of ways to grind up in this game. If you log into a multiplayer public server, you're probably going to find just fields of wooden floors. You're going to find every house has been sacked of its TVs, its ovens, all of its electronics. You're going to find cars stripped down to the bone because what do you do in a zombie apocalypse? Apparently you get out and you just grind XP all day long. That's one way to play, but that's not how I tend to play. I like to just kind of bumble along, see where the game takes me. I don't try to over-optimize a build or anything. I just like to be ready for anything. And that's just because, I don't know, I find it's not really what I would do in an apocalypse, you know? I wouldn't be like, look at this field. In this field I see possibility. I see the possibility for the largest wooden floor ever constructed. That's not what my instinct would be. No, I would be like, let's find a place, let's boost it up as we go. There are some people, they won't build walls or fortifications for their bases until they have like a high-level carpentry, which is like fine, because you build better fortifications with higher level carpentry. But, you know, in the meantime, I, as a human player, Trombonaut player, I would be building walls and barricades around my base. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad, they're better than nothing. So that's how I tend to do it, level my stuff up as I go. There are some exceptions, unfortunately, like electronics. If you want to level that, you gotta walk around taking apart all the little radios, walkie-talkies you find, grinding up that XP for electronics. But you know what, I don't hate that one, because as someone who knows virtually nothing about electronics, that's probably what I would have to do in a zombie apocalypse situation, right? I would have to take these things apart, figure out how they work, get really good at putting them back together if I could. So I think electronics is a little more true to immersion in that way. If you ever look around on the forums, whether it's Reddit, the official forums, whatever you want, you will see people talk about immersion a lot. That's because this game goes into an excruciating, pedantic level of detail in an effort to achieve realism. Oh, I just went through the effort of coming to greet you, and what does she do? She runs away. I guess I just she tries to crawl away. Is this the effect that Rolando has on women? Time will tell, I guess. Rolando, you gotta up your game, man. Just kidding, it's not a game, kids. It's real, you just gotta find something real. Till then, Zomboid. Hopefully this remains a game and not something real, but who knows where COVID will take us. Oh, now they're just... there we go. Now they just can't wait to meet you, Rolando. Alright, more boots, more watch. A better shirt. Let's wear it. Why not? We might start getting toasty in this. I'll show you why. I'm going to close that window. Hover over the shirt. In the bottom left we're looking, we have insulation, wind resistance, these things. The insulation will overheat you in time, but I would say I'd rather be hot and sweaty than dead. So that's no problem. We are going to fill up our saucepan with water, because that's our current water source. And we got that in our main inventory, so that we're automatically drinking things. Someone in this house has left a pot of stew on the stove. It says it's better hot, so you know what? Let's click the stove, click this turn on button, and we're going to heat up that stew. I don't know if the stew has to be in the stove. Right now it's on the stove. This is another new thing in the game to me, is the ability to pick up and place items. Orange soda. Take that, tell you why later. But I don't really know how it interacts with some of the mechanics, such as this pot, I think, has to be in the stove in order to heat up. So we'll put it in the stove. Yeah, now it's cooking. So you cannot cook on the stove. Not sure if they'll ever add that. Oh, do you hear that? We hear it cooking. Let's talk about the sound, and we'll talk about this more once Rolando kind of gets into the gets into a routine with how to do in an apocalypse. But we'll find some other things to talk about. One thing we're going to talk about is the Mondoids and Thursdoids, the dev blogs that have been posted like religiously over the years, very consistently, every Monday for a while, then every Thursday. Now they're down to every other Thursday. Still great material in there. They tell you where the game's been, where it's going, and what does the path to version 1 look like. Because, of course, this game is technically still early access. We're in version 0.41, so things will change. They are changing. Just like this food. Just changed. It said cooking, now it says burning. Good news. It's not actually burning. It's not burning until it is burned. Burned. So burning is fine. You can fill up that red bar almost all the way, and the food will be just as good. What you don't want to do is let that bar fill up all the way. Alright, but listen to that. Listen to that pipe on that flesh. It used to be that we had far less responsive sounds in the audio of this game. Even that food that was cooking, the drinks I was drinking as I drank the soup, I suppose, it's all been vastly improved. And if you've played Alien Isolation, you know why. It's because a lot of the same people, I think the same studio, or the people made a new studio, for the audio team from that game, Alien Isolation, they made the audio for this game. And when I say made, I mean making. It's a work in progress, but it's a ton of work and a ton of progress they've made. And again, talking about immersion, that, you know, religious attention to detail, overly complicated, pedantic, just, you know, almost too much level of detail. It's coming through in the sound now, which is really cool. We're not really finding anything too crazy. Jars, I guess, are nice. You can do some canning through the winter, extend your vegetable supply a little bit as you get into farming, which we will do eventually. But right now, we're just kind of looking for some things we don't have. We got a first aid kit. I love these. Put it in my bag here. We do want to find still things such as, oops, get rid of those pants, such as a nice backpack, hiking bag, duffel bag, anything like that, so we can kind of carry our home on our shoulders. Then, better than that, we want to find some wheels. We want to find a working car to get us out of this place. Oh, hello, metalwork. Let's talk about magazines real quick. You've seen them before. Did you know, and I'm sure you did, many of the classes that you can choose, such as mechanic, engineer, electrician, I think, herbalist, these classes will give you access to recipes, that is, things you can make or things you can do, that you can also access just by finding the magazine for that recipe in-game. So, personal preference, I tend not to take those classes. I tend not to take them because I have this horrible nightmare where I spec out an electrician and I spawn in a house that has spawned with electricity magazines. And suddenly all those points I spent learning these recipes become redundant, lost points. So I'm a big fan of unemployed. I like getting a little nitty-gritty, a little able to fine-tune my build. Let's talk about build while I'm walking along here. I'm just walking this guy. Yeah, let's just spend the night in this house, see how it goes. I'm going to show you the build again, info. So we're kind of playing a bit of a suicide build. We got a lot of points milked out of these debuffs, but if we get one hit, it's bad news. We have taken thin-skinned, we've taken slow healer, prone to illness, just stuff where bad news becomes really bad, and it takes us a long time to come back from it. With this build, I also used to take hemophobic, which is a fear of blood. So when you are covered in blood, or when you cut yourself and have to repair yourself, you start to freak out. We talked last time about how that's bad. If you're panicked, if you're anxious, you're suffering reduced accuracy, and that will continue to go down and can eventually turn into unhappiness, which slows down everything. So it's just kind of like a compounding situation. But they changed something. So it used to be only healing yourself made you anxious. Now it's healing yourself, or like I said, being covered in blood. Which, if you've seen, we've only killed 47 zombies in a day and a half. We got pretty bloody doing it. The clothes we picked up were pretty bloody. There's a lot of blood in this game. So what you can do what I'm doing right now, wash it off you, keep that anxiety down, but eventually you'll run out of water. Right? So you know water will shut off, electricity will shut off. I think it's anything from the first 1 to 20 days, something like that. And once it shuts off, you're going to start rationing your water. It's super manageable. Okay, don't like get scared or anything. But washing yourself just starts to take up a lot of your resources. So I tend not to want to do that. I want to have a filthy bugger, filthy coward. Okay, a literal filthy coward. I'll put this coward to bed. If we were on a proper solo server, we would have some nighttime events, nightmares, little hallucinations, I think, of zombie footsteps and such. Possibly a spawn chance for zombies while we're sleeping. But we're in a multiplayer server. It's a multiplayer server of 1, but it's still multiplayer server, and so nothing special like that happens. It is 6:10. We've got some snacks. Let's eat a little more stew. Last time, you might have noticed, I right-click on the stew. I can eat it. I can eat all of it. But last time, all said 42. Why does it say... Sorry, it must have said maybe 52. Why does it say 26? Because I ate half of it. So let me eat 1/4 of it here, and we can say that is 13. But hang on, you'd say. This whole thing is 26. Why is 1/4 only 13? That's because 1/4 is relevant to the maximum capacity of the dish. Maximum capacity was 52. So now I have only 1/4 left, so I could eat all, I can eat 1/2, I can eat 1/4 here. They all say the same, 13 hunger, because it's all just 1/4 left. Alright, we're going to stop smacking the zombies about. We're going to start scouting for a target. What are we targeting? We're trying to target a working automobile. I don't have good feelings about those vans down there. They look pretty beat up. Going to pass that by. Bam! There's the smart music director. This horde is just locked onto me, and so it's kind of letting me know by upping the music, upping the intensity. This music, super, super classic. I think the artist's name is Zach Beaver. I'm not sure if that's his real name, or if that's some sort of avatar name situation, but love the music. Super, super characteristic of this game. It's just a defining element of the game. And we get to see more of it now. Obviously, they've put in more tracks than they had back in the day, 4 years ago. Oh, the music is upping the energy again. Anyways, but with the director, I feel, I don't know, the music plays less often. Like, if there's not anything going on, there is calm music that will play, but it only kicks in after, I think, a lot of calm. And I guess that's because they don't want it, you know, getting whiplash, switch swapping. That's not a word, but switch swapping between tracks from, you know, calm, heavy, intense, sad. Just an emotional roller coaster. Picking off a few of these guys for XP. Not really grinding. Again, I don't like to get too into the grind. But gotta teach them some respect, you know? Like, guys, you can't just do this to a person. I'm gonna run this fence. I'm a little panicked. Sorry, I'm extremely panicked. There was a chance I would trip over that fence. I was hoping I could show that to you. It did not happen. This guy's too... Oh! This guy's too good, and this guy is better. We are going to trounce this zombie fast as we can. And we are going to take that duffel bag off of them. Hello! Alright, why did we do that? Let's, we don't need this anymore. Let's get inside a house and show you the rationale there for taking the duffel bag. We've got a bunch of zombies. Here's what we can do. Try to trick them. Make them think you're in a house. Okay? I mean, of course I am in the house, but they're all going to start banging on the one side of it, and I'm going to go out the other side of it. Okay, so that's one way you can lose a horde. Not too tricky. Okay, for some reason they're also up there. I'm holding right click. You know what? Let's also do this. I press C. Crouch, crouch, crouch. Not very sneaky. I have no points in it. And they are making quick work of that house. You also walk slower when you crouch. Right now, I don't think I would outwalk a zombie. I can still sprint, of course. I'll switch to normal walking. We have one zombie. Tell you what, let's see if we can get them in the house. Oh, actually, you know what? It's an antisocial zombie. No, they prefer to spend their time on their own, and I respect that. I'll respect them if they respect me. Alright, I am hearing some voices, so here's what we'll do. Turn this off. We got someone knocking on a window somewhere. Okay, I think... There we are. Who's coming? Oh, there's a few. Oh, we just leveled up a skill, probably long blunt. This is pretty manageable. With the long blunt, it's going to become more manageable, but I'll tell you what, if I hear another window break or another door, a back door, hey? I will probably abandon this little house here. because I do not want to get surrounded. You've probably noticed by now, if a zombie gets behind you, the zombie gets a hit in behind you. Oh, yeah, this is stupid. This is not how a coward would play. If they get behind you and they land a hit, it's going to be a bite. Okay, it's an increased chance of a more severe wound. And remember, bites are fatal. This isn't no Left 4 Dead where you're just going to shrug it off like nothing because you're immune. No. In the lore of this game, you are immune. You're immune to the airborne form of this virus, but you are not immune to the fluid-based transmissions. Let's just do this really quick, though. We've got this garbage bag. We're going to take that bag, we're going to throw it to the ground, and we are going to put the duffel bag on our back, sure. And we're going to put that garbage bag of ours, whoop, drag it into our duffel bag icon. A little difficult to see because it's black, but why do we do that? Duffel bag has a 65% weight reduction. Sorry, that's not true. Weight reduction 65, that means things weigh, what is that, 35% less. So they weigh 65% of their total. The garbage bag was weight reduction 0.9, which means they only weigh 10% less. Oh! I hope it didn't scare you. Sorry if it did, but that is the jump scare sound that will occur frequently as you play the game. Let's eat some cheese. And that's just to visually shock you. Sorry, or aurally shock you? Whoa, hello everybody. Again, don't get surrounded by a horde. If there are too many, they will pull you down to the floor. They'll eat your brains. Best to say no to brain eating, okay? Unless it's someone else's brains and you're a zombie. In that case, go ahead. But such is not the case for us. We are going to get the heck out of there. We're still looking for cars. We're not seeing cars. Cars have changed the game so much. I would be playing this game very differently if it were back in the day, where you played kind of in a 4-cell radius of your house, if you're a coward like I am. Because you didn't want to get too far and be stuck out in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to sleep. No supplies nearby. Let's do some leveling. Again, this is pretty manageable, so we'll take these fights. If we can, we'll try to knock this one down. Yep, on to the other one, so we can stand on it and stun them both in that way. Okay, we're drawing a bit of a crowd. Make sure you check behind you frequently. You want to be on the lookout for that ever dangerous back attack. I like to zoom in a lot during combat, make sure I'm landing those blows where I intend to. Alright. Now what I could do, I could kite these zombies into a tighter horde. I'm not going to do that, of course, because... Alright. I'm not going to do that because I have a melee weapon. This melee weapon only strikes one target at a time. I think that's the default setting for Apocalypse mode. I cannot strike multiple targets, so I actually don't want to group them up. I want to keep them loose. I want to keep them where I can pick off some outsiders now and again, because that's the only way I can do it. Alright, we are at the highway. I told you before, I'll tell you again, highway is a dangerous place. We have an ambulance key. I'm going to take that key, I'm going to put it on our key ring. It doesn't have to be there, but that just means it's always accessible and you're not going to accidentally drop it. We're going to come back for that ambulance, because I think it's not in bad shape. You know what? We're actually going to call everybody. Free meat, come get your free meat here. How are we doing? Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you can see again, super panicked. My perception is down, similar to when I'm sleepy. But that's okay. I'm going to keep calling everyone over this way and away from that ambulance. The ambulance. Okay. Ooh, little accident there. Interesting. Another key on the ground. You might have noticed that. This is for the dart. It's for that little orange dart there. We'll take that too. Thank you very much. Now it looks a little dinged up. We are not going to try to start it, because if it doesn't start, we're hooped. We're going to start trying to lose this horde now. We got some good distance. Some of them might get hooked on the fossil oil. Hooked on the oil, man. Oh yeah, this is great. And the ones that don't get hooked over there, we're going to try to hook through some houses over here. They're playing the freak out music again. Rolando is freaking out. That's okay. I think if you're too freaked out for too long, you will suffer for it. I think you can get unhappiness, get some depression. Depression, probably the most insidious condition in the game. It will kill you eventually, in that it will make you screw up, because your abilities will be so reduced, you will overestimate yourself but you, the player, will overestimate how much your character cares to stay alive. Alright, so we had this big wall over here. We said before we can jump those big walls. That's what we're going to do. We are going to jump it so that the zombies cannot immediately track our direct location. They can only go to the last known location. You notice now that we have this bag on our back, the bag does not drop when we hop a wall because it's not in our hand, and that's great. Time is of the essence here, so we are going to do a bit of running. We're going to try to drag these zombies down towards us, just to get them a few more steps in that direction. It's going to be tight, but we're going to try to do it. Get in, start. Okay, it's looking sketchy. I'm going to switch to the other seat and get out. I press Z, I pressed number 2, that put me in the passenger seat. I got out the other door. Okay, I'm not liking that ambulance very much. It took 3 tries. I tried to start it. It did not start, so we're going to try that dart. Tell you what, if a vehicle is not starting in 2 or 3 tries, you don't want it, because you're going to get comfortable using it, and then sometime you're going to get trapped. It's not going to start, you're going to be surrounded, and you're dead. Okay, but remember, you can press Z to pull up the seats in the vehicle, and then click or press the corresponding number of the seat to jump into it. Oh, that's a bit of a party. Let's go this way, party people. Right with me, this way. Fun's over here. There's something going on in that place. I don't know what's going on in there. I'm going to keep tight to the wall. Oh, give this a little bit of a berth. So what are you seeing right now? I could, if I wanted to, try to kill all these zombies, but we talked about resources, we talked about durability, we talked about your weapon will break. So even if you could kind of kite these guys into a big horde together and then slowly draw away some individuals from that horde, you're not going to want to do that because your weapon's going to break and then you're right back where you started, but without a weapon. So we're just trying to give them the run around. I am going to run, literally, into this car. Two. Yes! Alright, started on the second one and we're good. Okay, this is a very slow car. And or I'm a Sunday driver, which of course I am. Which means my maximum speed is reduced. Good news is my maximum speed is reduced. If I hit someone or something, I will suffer less damage. My car will suffer less damage. And that's okay. I get confident in the stronger vehicles, the faster vehicles. I need this debuff. Now check this out. Look at the highway. Look how brutal this is. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see these bodies walking around. Some of them we see have some, we got a hat on that guy. We had a hard hat back there. We might have seen a cop with a police vest. Even the zombies have good loot, right? And what we don't see is off of the highway on the right-hand side, southeast, there are a lot of buildings with a lot of valuable stuff. Oops, sorry, buddy. But right now we're not interested in that. It's too much. It's too much for us to handle. We don't have the skills. We don't have the gear. We're getting out. Where are we going? Well, let's see if I... God, I was going to open the map, but you know what? Opening the map when driving is... that's not a good idea. We have a backpack on that zombie. The Spiffo backpack. So it's got a Spiffo icon. Spiffo, of course, being the fearless mascot of this game. Fearless leader. I'm working on a mod right now where... your server, your multiplayer server, only survives so long as there are Spiffos in it. So if a player dies, a Spiffo is lost, and if you're out of Spiffos, the server kills, well, everyone in the server becomes infected. Just something because I find multiplayer sometimes loses the challenge when everyone can just respawn indefinitely. We'll talk about more some multiplayer stuff another time, though. Lots of little quality of life mods. Lots of little things you can do without changing the difficulty or making it more difficult. I'm not a fan of the kind of run and gun style of play, filling it up with tons of guns, tons of ammo, put some armor, put some tanks. It is cool, but I'll play other games for that kind of a kick. Right now, I want something more low-key. I'm looking for the tavern. I'm looking to get away from the highway. Now, there's a bar around here. I'm going to stop, pull up my map, see if I've seen the bar. In the bottom right, click this C icon to show where you are. I haven't seen anything that shows me the tavern yet, the pub. The Shaun of the Dead style hideaway. Is this it here? Hey, this is it. Alright, I remember some things from the old days. Go me. Okay, I'm going to stop the car here. We are very low on gas. There's not a lot we can do about that right now, but what we can do is hole out here and look for, you saw a gas station up there, if you're watching. That gas station does have gas. It should, oops, there goes my pipe. It has gas. It should also have some jerry cans, I hope. Jerry cans will let us siphon gas from other vehicles. And, oops, silly me. I left my other weapon in the garbage bag, which is now in the duffel bag, which means I don't have immediate access to it. So do this old school. We're just shoving them to death. Shove and stomp, shove and stomp. Stand on the chest, knock them down, knock them down. We got some friends coming in up above. We got not too many though, so we can keep on with this tactic. One thing when you're doing this, you gotta watch out. See, I'm getting tired. It's gonna tire you out. I know that attribute, that debuff noodle was there before, but I'm also gonna start getting exhausted. Okay, so it's a good chance to look around, make sure you're not getting surrounded. Did I miss a killing blow because I got up and looked around? Yes. Is that worth it? Yes. Again, the most terrifying thing in this game, the worst thing that can happen to you, is the back attack. There we go. We got them both down. Stomp. Make sure we're safe. And boom. We're good, okay? We're good. We're going to zoom all the way out. If you're having performance issues with your game, you can go into the options, I think it's display options, and reduce the zoom levels, because the game is trying to actively render everything out to your maximum zoom all the time. So even right now, it's trying to show you all of this. So that's a problem for you. Change that option. Not a problem here, thankfully. This game did try to target potatoes. They tried to keep it pretty accessible in terms of performance. Of course, with the new animations and a lot of the new updates, they are getting away from that. I think they've stated that openly. Potato support is maybe not as going to be as successful as it once was. But I think that's okay. You know, for a modern game with it's, you know, not quite modern graphics, of course, but there's a lot of performance stuff happening to make this game run, and I don't think it's worth the sacrifices at this point. If you're like, hey man, I don't have the computer to play this game anymore, I'm really upset, like, I hear you, it sucks. I hope you are able to get a better machine, but also play around with the performance stuff. There's a lot of flexibility on it in the options. Try to make it work. Actually, that's because this is an issue that affects a few friends of mine. If you do have some performance tips, put it down in the comments. I'm sure people would love to hear it. What have you disabled, enabled? How have you changed the options on your game, or even on your machine? Any Windows settings or whatever you're playing on, stuff to make things go better. Let us know. The people want to hear. All right, so we got someone knocking on a door. Used to be that you'd have no way of knowing which door. Just have to kind of follow the sound and get an approximate answer. But now, you know, since my day, they've added this little jiggle. All right, so we got a little animation letting us know that behind door number 123 is this guy. Get down, guy. I like your shades, bro. What's on your shirt? Oh my God, is that a beholder? A D&D beholder on his shirt? I can put that shirt on. I need to know this. Click the zombie icon. I'm going to put the t-shirt straight on my chest. And look, we cannot see it. That's okay. Oh, there's no light switch in here because it's a closet. I don't know. Some closets have light switches. There we go. Going to do the big reveal. What's on the shirt in 3, 2, 1. Bam. It's not a beholder. It's just a hole in the chest. Well, we'll get rid of that. We'll put our old denim shirt back on if I can find it. Oh, you know what? We're already wearing the denim shirt on top of it. All right, let's unequip that. Let's put this shirt back on because we weren't even looking at the shirt. The shirt is... Am I going crazy? Is this not the shirt that I spawned in on? It is. This is the shirt he was wearing. All right, and it is still just the giant hole, but at least now we know. And you know what? I think Rolando Jennings looks good in this color. We'll try to find him more like this, but not this one, because it's got a giant freaking hole in it. This shirt, too, that we were wearing, it offers us 0 protection, right? It's just insulation. So we don't need that right now. We're in summer. We're just going to wear the denim shirt, keep us cool. We're also going to wear the jacket, keep us safe. Leave it at that. See how we do. And I think we're going to leave Rolando Jennings here after we clear the tavern. He's going to regroup. He's going to think about what comes next. Basically, what comes next. Okay, we got what we need. We got some rudimentary starting items. We've got a car. There are lots of items we'll talk about next time for base building that we want to collect before we blow this popsicle stand. But what does that mean, blow this popsicle stand? We got to decide. Urban base or rural base? What do you want to do? I think I'll do the coward's way out, do the rural base, but not super deep in the woods or anything. Close enough to town that I can get to town. Far enough away that I don't have neighbors banging on the door. That's just how I like it. If you hate yourself and you're a new player, try to have a residential base, or sorry, try to have an urban base. See how you do. It is tough, okay? Especially once the 7-day surprise comes around the corner. Don't worry what I'm talking about. If you don't know what it is, I don't want to ruin the surprise for you, but the 7-day surprise sucks. Sucks less now that we have cars. Anyway, spoilers. Rolando out. Okay, end time. Stay safe. If you have survivors on the go, I hope they live long and prosper as best as can be expected under the circumstances. And hope to see you next time where we'll talk more about Project Zomboid.